Seo Yuna was exhausted. At 27, her life had become a cycle of unpaid bills, rude customers, and pretending everything was fine. By day, she worked at a small publishing company where her boss stole credit for her ideas. At night, she delivered food around Seoul on a borrowed scooter that broke down every other week, and every single month, she sent money to the hospital caring for her grandmother, the only person who had ever truly loved her. Yuna had stopped expecting good things to happen. That's why, when she found a black business card lying on the subway floor one night, she almost ignored it. No company name, no phone number, just one sentence written in gold. "Do you wish your life would change?" Yuna laughed under her breath. Sounds like a scam. But when she flipped the card over, another line appeared, one that definitely hadn't been there before. Seo Yuna, Midnight Cheongdam District. Her smile disappeared. How does this thing know my name? At exactly midnight, Yuna stood outside an enormous mansion hidden behind iron gates. Every instinct told her to leave, but before she could turn around, the gates opened by themselves. Inside, dozens of luxury cars lined the driveway. Men in suits bowed their heads as she passed. No one looked her in the eyes. That was the first sign something was wrong. The second sign was him. A man sat alone in the center of the room. Wearing black from head to toe, he looked young, maybe early 30s, beautiful in an almost terrifying way. Sharp jawline, pale skin, eyes so cold they didn't seem human. The moment Yuna saw him, her heart skipped, not from attraction, from fear. "You're late," he said calmly. Yuna frowned. "You're the one who invited me." A few men nearby gasped softly, as if she had just insulted a king. But the man only smirked. Interesting. No one spoke to him like that. No one survived after doing it. "Sit down," he ordered. Yuna crossed her arms. "I'd rather stand." The room became deadly silent, and for the first time in centuries, Kang Tae-moo smiled for real. Rumors about Kang Tae-moo existed all over Seoul. People whispered that CEOs disappeared after betraying him. Gang leaders vanished overnight after mentioning his name. Politicians bowed to him in secret, but nobody knew the truth. Kang Tae-moo wasn't human. 700 years ago, he had been cursed by a dying monk after slaughtering an entire village during a war. The curse transformed him into something between a man and a demon, immortal, powerful, unable to die. But there was one condition. Every 50 years, he had to offer a human soul to maintain his immortality. And this year, Seo Yuna had been chosen. Tae-moo had every intention of killing her until he saw the mark on her wrist, the same mark belonging to the woman he once loved, the woman whose death destroyed whatever humanity remained inside him. Impossible. She had died centuries ago. So why? Why did this girl have her eyes? Her smile, her soul? "You're insane," Yuna said after hearing his proposal. Tae-moo leaned back calmly. 3 months. What? "Stay beside me for 3 months and I'll give you anything you want." Yuna stared at him suspiciously. "You sound like a mafia boss in a drama." "I'm worse." For some reason, she believed him. Tae-moo slid a document across the table, a contract. If she agreed, all her debts would disappear. Her grandmother would receive the best treatment in Korea. She would never struggle again. But there was one condition. She had to live in his mansion. "With you?" she asked. "Yes." "That's creepy." "It's temporary." Yuna narrowed her eyes. "Why me?" For the first time, Tae-moo hesitated, because if he told her the truth, that she was destined to die, she would run, and for reasons he still didn't understand. He didn't want her to. Living with Kang. Tae-moo came with strange rules. Never enter the West Wing. Never ask why the staff avoided mirrors. And no matter what happened, never open the red door in the basement. Naturally, Yuna became curious immediately. "You sound exactly like someone hiding dead bodies," she told him during breakfast. Tae-moo sipped his coffee. "Only one." Yuna choked. "You're joking, right?" He looked at her silently. "Right?" The first time Yuna saw Tae-moo lose control, she almost died. A man arrived at the mansion demanding money. He insulted Tae-moo, threatened him. Then he grabbed Yuna's arm. Everything changed instantly. The lights exploded. The room temperature dropped. And Tae-moo's eyes turned completely black. The man began screaming. Bones cracked without Tae-moo even touching him. Yuna froze in horror. This wasn't human strength. This was something else, something ancient, terrifying. Taimou looked ready to kill him until Yuna grabbed his hand. Stopped. The entire room went silent. Black smoke curled around Taimou's body before disappearing. Slowly, his eyes returned to normal, and for the first time in 700 years, a demon obeyed a human. Feelings were dangerous. Taimou knew that better than anyone. Humans always died. Love always ended painfully. That's why he kept pushing Yuna away, but she kept getting closer. She laughed too loudly, argued with him constantly, dragged him to convenience stores at 2 a.m., and worst of all, she made him feel human again. One night, Yuna found him standing alone in the dark garden. "You look lonely," she said softly. "I prefer being alone." "That's not what your face says." Taimou stared at her. No fear, no greed, no ulterior motive, just warmth, dangerous warmth. "You should stay away from me," he whispered. Yuna stepped closer instead. Why? Because if he kissed her, he would never let her go. And seconds later, that's exactly what happened. The kiss should never have happened, because the moment Taimou fell in love with her, the curse awakened. Blood appeared on his hands every night afterward. Voices whispered in the dark, and the mark on Yuna's wrist began glowing. The truth was finally catching up to him. Yuna wasn't just connected to his past life love, she was her reincarnated. And according to the curse, if Taimou truly loved her again, she would die all over again. Yuna discovered the truth accidentally. One locked room, one hidden journal, one horrifying sentence. The girl must die before the first snowfall. Her hands shook violently. All this time, he had planned to kill her? Tears filled her eyes. Everything suddenly felt fake. The kindness, the protection, the kisses, even his love. When Taimou found her holding the journal, panic crossed his face for the first time in centuries. "Yuna, was any of it real?" "Yes, you were going to kill me." "I changed my mind. That doesn't make it better." Her voice broke, and watching her cry hurt far more than any curse ever had. That night, another demon arrived in Seoul, Lee Seojin, the creature responsible for manipulating Taimou centuries ago. Unlike Taimou, Seojin enjoyed being a monster, and he wanted Yuna dead immediately. "She'll destroy you," Seojin warned coldly. Taimou stood protectively in front of her. "Touch her and die." Seojin laughed. "You really fell in love again. Pathetic." The mansion trembled violently as demonic energy exploded through the halls. Yuna realized then, there was an entire hidden world living beside humanity, and Taimou had been protecting her from it all along. The curse gave Taimou one final choice: kill Yuna, or lose his immortality forever. For most people, the answer would be obvious, but immortality was the only thing keeping Taimou alive. Without it, centuries of demonic energy would consume his body. He would suffer endlessly before dying. Still, when Yuna stood crying in front of him, he made his decision instantly. "I'd rather die than lose you again." Seojin attacked before midnight. The battle destroyed half the mansion. Windows shattered, walls collapsed. Darkness swallowed entire rooms. Yuna watched in horror as Taimou fought like a creature born from nightmares. Black flames, inhuman strength, eyes glowing silver in the dark. But Seojin was stronger, and eventually, Taimou fell to his knees. Blood covered the floor beneath him. Seojin smiled cruelly before raising his blade toward Yuna. "You were his weakness," but before the blade could fall, Taimou grabbed it with his bare hand and whispered the words that broke the curse forever. "I choose her." The mark on Yuna's wrist shattered into light. A violent wave exploded through the mansion, and for the first time in 700 years, Kang Taimou became human again. But curses never disappeared without taking something in return. Taimou's body began fading slowly. Yuna grabbed him desperately. "No, no, stay with me." For the first time, fear appeared in his eyes. Not fear of death, fear of leaving her alone. He touched her cheek gently. "If there's another life after this," his voice cracked softly, "find me again." Then he disappeared, right in her arms. Yuna never forgot him, even after a year passed, even after life moved forward. Part of her still waited. Then one evening, While leaving work, she bumped into a man outside a bookstore. The books scattered everywhere. "I'm sorry," the man said quickly. Yuna froze. Black hair, sharp eyes, the exact same voice, but this time, he looked warm, human. He stared at her strangely, as if recognizing someone from a dream. "Have we met before?" Tears filled Yuna's eyes instantly, and finally, she smiled. "Yes," she whispered. "I think we were in love." Part 2. The man who should have been dead. Yuna couldn't breathe. The man kneeling beside the fallen books looked exactly like Kang Tae-moo. Same eyes, same voice, same presence that made her heart race instantly. But this man looked softer, human. He picked up one of the novels and handed it to her awkwardly. "You okay?" Yuna's hands trembled. "Tae-moo!" The stranger blinked. "Sorry." A wave of disappointment crashed into her chest. Of course, it couldn't really be him. The curse had ended. He disappeared. This was just another man, right? "My name is Kim Min-jun," he said with a small smile. "I think you confused me with someone else," but the moment his fingers brushed hers, a silver mark briefly flashed on his wrist. The exact same mark the Demon King once carried, and neither of them noticed the shadow watching from across the street. That night, Min-jun couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw strange memories. A woman crying in moonlight, a burning mansion, blood on his hands, and a voice whispering, "Find her before he does." He woke up gasping, then realized something horrifying. His apartment walls were covered in claw marks, marks that hadn't been there before. Far beneath, Seoul, deep inside an abandoned underground shrine, a man slowly opened his eyes. His name was Baek-hyun, and unlike Tae-moo, he had never wanted to become human, ancient, ruthless, beautiful in a terrifying way. He was the first demon ever created, the one even monsters feared. For centuries, he remained sealed away, but when Tae-moo broke the curse, the seal weakened. Baek-hyun smiled slowly. "So, the traitor chose love." Black smoke spread across the shrine floor. How disappointing. And then, he spoke Yuna's name. Yuna kept meeting Min-jun, accidentally, at coffee shops, on the subway, outside her office, almost like fate kept forcing them together. The worst part? He acted exactly like Tae-moo without realizing it. Cold to strangers, gentle with her, and every time he smiled, her heart hurt. One night, Min-jun finally asked the question bothering him. "Why do you look at me like you miss me?" Yuna froze, because she did, every second. But before she could answer, all the lights in the cafe suddenly exploded. Everyone screamed, and standing outside the shattered window was a man with glowing gold, eyes smiling directly at her. Baek-hyun entered the cafe. Slowly, the room became ice cold instantly. People collapsed unconscious around them. Only Yuna and Min-jun remained, standing. Min-jun instinctively moved in front of her, protectively, even without memories. His body still remembered her. Baek-hyun laughed softly. "How adorable." Then his expression darkened. "You broke the curse, Kang Tae-moo." Min-jun frowned. "I don't know who that is." "Not anymore," Baek-hyun replied. "But your soul remembers." Yuna's blood ran cold. "Tae-moo?" For one brief second, silver light flashed through Min-jun's eyes, and Baek-hyun smiled. "There you are." That night, Min-jun's memories returned violently. Not all of them, just enough. Enough to remember Yuna dying in his arms centuries ago. Enough to remember the curse. Enough to remember becoming a monster. He collapsed to the floor screaming as demonic energy exploded around him. Yuna held him tightly despite the fear. "Tae-moo!" At the sound of his old name, he finally looked at her and whispered weakly. "Yuna!" She burst into tears. Instantly, because after losing him twice, he had finally come back. Baek-hyun revealed the horrifying truth. The curse was never destroyed, it simply transferred to Yuna. Now she carried the darkness Tae-moo escaped from, and slowly, it was killing her. Black veins began spreading across her wrist every night. If the corruption reached her heart, she would transform into a demon forever. "There's only one cure," Baek-hyun said calmly. Tae-moo already knew what was coming. "No." Baek-hyun smirked. "One soul for another. Yuna had to die, or Tae-moo had to reclaim his demonic powers permanently." For the first time in centuries, Tae-moo experienced ordinary happiness. Cooking ramen with Yuna at midnight, walking beside the Han River, falling asleep beside someone he loved. Human life was painfully simple, and that made him want it even more. One evening, Yuna found him staring silently at a family eating dinner together, children laughing. Parents smiling. Taimou looked almost heartbroken. "You want that?" Yuna realized softly. He looked away immediately. "Don't deserve it." Yuna grabbed his hand tightly. "Then let me decide." That. The corruption inside Yuna worsened. Quickly, she started hearing whispers, seeing shadows move. Sometimes, her reflection smiled when she didn't. One night while washing her hands, the mirror suddenly cracked, and her reflection spoke. "He will always choose himself in the end." Yuna stumbled backward in horror. The reflection's eyes turned black. Demons never change. Then all the lights died. Baekhyun manipulated Yuna carefully, showing her visions, twisting memories, making her believe Taimou secretly planned to abandon her once the curse disappeared. And slowly, fear began growing inside her, until one night she finally asked him directly, "If saving me meant becoming a demon again, would you do it?" Taimou stayed silent too long, not because he didn't love her, because he would destroy the entire world for her without hesitation, and that answer terrified him. Baekhyun attacked openly. The skies above. Seoul turned black. Demons hidden among humans revealed themselves everywhere. Cars crashed. Buildings exploded. People vanished into shadows. Panic spread across the city, and standing above it, all Baekhyun smiled. This world belonged to monsters. Long before humans existed, Taimou realized the horrifying truth. Baekhyun never wanted revenge. He wanted war. To stop Baekhyun, Taimou made one final deal. He would become the Demon King again, fully, no humanity left, no emotions, no future with Yuna. In exchange, Baekhyun would spare humanity. Yuna overheard everything, and for the first time in the entire story, she slapped him. Hard. "You idiot." Taimou stared at her silently. "You don't get to sacrifice yourself every time." His voice broke quietly. "If I don't, you die." Yuna grabbed his face through tears. "Then, we fight together this time." The final battle lasted until sunrise. Taimou and Baekhyun tore through the city. Like gods at war, darkness swallowed entire streets. But in the end, it wasn't power that defeated Baekhyun, it was Yuna. Because for the first time in thousands of years, someone looked at a monster and chose love instead of fear. And Baekhyun realized something terrifying. That was a power demons could never understand. To seal Baekhyun forever, Taimou gave up the last of his demonic power. This time, he didn't disappear. He simply became ordinary, human, fragile, alive. As sunlight touched his face, Taimou laughed quietly. "So this is what breathing feels like." Yuna smiled through tears. "Welcome back." And finally, after 700 years of darkness, the demon who was never supposed to love anyone got his happy ending.